What is up? We got a Thursday night stream here, brought to you by
I see you've missed me.
Kenobi.
God damn it, YouTube. Who's sponsoring me tonight? I need a sponsor quick. Anyone in the chat got a sponsor? Money for like sponsorships or anything? I'll say your name. Shit, I don't know. What's going on tonight, though, guys? It's a snowstorm here in Iowa. Ain't nothing too exciting. I just had some shells and cheese. It was garbage. It was fucking garbage. But it's okay. Now I have beer, and now I can get fucked up and drunk. So all is good. Kenobi. What's up, Nick, Giga, Chris Maki, Geek Squad, Texas Oil Boom, Ashers, Lighten95, Brian. I know Brian's watching. Beer is important. Yes. Yes, beer is important. obviously we'll let people join in. We'll give it a couple minutes here, but we do have a Nukes Top 5 new video, and then I want to watch a video on the Villisca X Murder House, which is the house that I want to go to. It's in Villisca, Iowa. Probably easily the most haunted place, I would say, in the state of Iowa that you can go to. I don't know if there's any real competition for that. We don't have a whole lot of spooky, like, haunted houses here in Iowa, like, legitimately believed to be haunted houses, but that is one that I really want to go to, and so I'm excited about that. But it's a really creepy fucking story. Like, how it happened. It's one of the most, like, brutal murders of all time. Still unsolved. Where am I watching the Super Bowl this weekend? I'm watching it here in the apartment. I'm not going anywhere. Yeah, I'm just staying here. I'm just going to have some wings, and I live right next to a place that has wings. I don't know if you guys ever heard of the other place. Really good wings, and then I don't know what else I'm going to get. I think I'm going to make some kind of cheese dip, crock-pot cheese dip, I think, and then just chill here. I don't want to be around a huge group of people. What is up, Velocidelix? Long time no see, brother. Got a slow start today. Peter Kane was just doing a stream explaining how much money he's made on YouTube, which is $55,000 this last year. I mean, I guess he was angry because that's all he made. But people always think because you got all these subscribers doesn't mean that you get paid. You know, I mean, if you have 1 million subscribers, you're probably only making $5,000 a month, which is still nice. But I'm learning the hard way for my first time this year with tax season. Because you have to pay back 30% of all you've made during tax season, so that's a lot of money. You're going to watch the Puppy Bowl? What the hell is the Puppy Bowl? Still got 8 people. We'll give it just a few more minutes, and then we'll start. If we got 8 people, then... Am I sick? I don't know. I'm not sick. I kind of sound like I'm sick, though, don't I? I don't know why. I took a hell of a nice nap, and took a shower. I sound a little sick right now, I think. I've never recovered from my cough. I don't know what... I don't fucking know. It won't go away. It's gotten better, though. $55,000 isn't that bad. No, he was pissed because he thinks that for having all the videos he does and all that, he should be making way more than $55,000 a year. Which... maybe fair, maybe. Given that it's really not $55,000 he's earned, it's 30% of that $55,000's got to go. He's got to pay back. So he's really only making, whatever that 30% of $55,000 is. Whoever's good at math, you can subtract that from $55,000, then that's really all he made. So it's not even $55,000. Yeah, I don't know why I sound sick right now. I'm definitely not sick. It's probably just because I just got done eating and I threw my plate of shells and cheese away in disgust because it was fucking horrible. I'm macaronied out. I've been having macaroni at work for lunch, and now I was trying to save money and just eat what was in my cupboard, which was shells and cheese, and I'm done with shells and cheese or any macaroni for a while. Maybe I need some beer in my system. That'll wake my body up. Alright, we're going to go ahead and fucking start. We got 11 people, which is... people must be busy tonight. Which is what it is, let's see now. How did it go? What's up, little Timmy? They got you doing biology labs at home, for your college class? Yeah, fuck doing any kind of schoolwork online, dude. I couldn't do it. What's up, Cypress? So we're going to go ahead and start the Nukes Top 5 video. It is what it is. But after that, we'll do the Villisca murder house, so stay tuned. Get it loaded up here. God damn. Alright. I'm trying to clear my throat so I don't sound so fucking sick. But I'm not, I promise. What's up, Coltana? Slap Chop Sumo. Alright, here we go. Hopefully it's a good video, which it usually is from Nukes. Let's get spooked, folks. Let's get spooked. Remember, after every clip, give a rating from 1 to 10 on the spookometer, or 0 to 10 if you want. 10 being super spooky, 0 being not spooky at all. It doesn't necessarily have to count for the fact that you think it's real or fake, just if it's spooky, regardless. So, here we go.
Top 5 ghosts caught on camera. Really, really haunted. Lee and his family have been experiencing terrifying paranormal activity in their home in England.
Hopefully the audio's okay.
Over the last 2 years, Lee says that the supernatural encounters have become more frequent, more terrifying, and more violent. Lee documents these strange incidents on his YouTube channel, Really Haunted. Now, over the years, I've featured a few of the spooky occurrences in Lee's house, and it seems that whatever might be haunting the family home is not going anywhere. Lee has cameras recording the living room and bedroom as he, his wife, and their cute little puppy Luna are fast asleep in bed. What happens that night throughout the house is truly disturbing.
Holy fuck. That's not light. Dog. Might as well get a cat. That guy's definitely a Chad with that tattoo on his back. Definitely a Chad. Or Brad.
First, downstairs in the living room, the heavy couch slides across the floor as if it's nothing.
That's interesting.
Then back upstairs in the bedroom, puppy Luna wakes up from her sleep and starts frantically looking around as if she's hearing or seeing something that frightens her.
Alright.
She calms down a bit, but then suddenly a white translucent figure moves in front of the camera, startling Luna once again. A desk chair seems to move towards the bed on its own.
What's up, dead
then
lover
suddenly,
boy?
the small dog is
Julie,
spooked by
up?
something that seems
Geek
to be
Squad?
right next to the bed. She begins to whimper, which finally wakes Lee. So Luna's behavior and reactions throughout this video are what makes this footage so creepy and so compelling. It's almost as if she can see something the family can't, and it terrifies her. So did Lee and his family capture extreme paranormal evidence on camera? You decide.
I want a couch like that.
The haunting of the Jefferson Hotel. The historic Jefferson Hotel was left abandoned for 2 years before the new owners, Jeremy and Pam Jones, bought the 170-year-old building in Jefferson, Texas. The two paranormal enthusiasts poured their love and a lot of hard work into the...
Oh, by the way, for that last clip, I'd give it like a full 5.0 out of 10. It wasn't like that scary at all, but the couch moving was interesting enough for me to like. I'll give it a 5 out of 10. It wasn't horrible, but what's up, Corvus?
Restoration of the allegedly haunted hotel, and held a grand reopening of the Jefferson in October of 2020. The hotel has seen its fair share of dark history. It was built in 1851 and first opened as a cotton warehouse, where it is said that 2 7-year-old child workers lost their lives under the harsh working conditions. In the late 1800s, the hotel was a brothel. During that time, it is said that a teenage, quote, working girl named Judy lost her life at the hands of a client. She passed away in the bathtub of room 19.
Okay.
Today, the apparition of Judy is said to appear in the mists of hot showers, and sometimes even scribbles messages pleading for help on the bathroom mirror. One guest at the historic Jefferson Hotel says that she was able to capture the frightening incident on camera. Georgia Canfield is staying overnight at the hotel with her mother and grandmother when the three suddenly see a chilling message on their hotel mirror.
I just noticed it. I don't know if it was there when I came in here or if when I started running my hot water. I don't know. I just know that we came in here to wash my face.
That was not there. Can you confirm that was not? We checked that earlier.
I didn't see it earlier.
Do you see it now?
Yes, I see it. That's why I'm not going in there.
Seems genuine.
Georgia, her mother and grandmother have no idea where the message came from, and their freaked out reactions to the strange event seem very sincere. But that's not the end of the Jefferson Hotel's haunted history.
What is that?
In 1912, a pregnant bride named Lydia Grigsby took her own life inside room 19 after her fiancé sent word that he would not be coming to the wedding. Today, male guests traveling alone have reported seeing the beautiful ghost of a bride with golden hair. One night on a tour through the hotel, guests Angela and Cody Goins might have captured the Jefferson Hotel ghost bride on camera. Using the live photo mode on an iPhone, which snaps a photo in a quick 3-second video, they capture what appears to be a bride-like apparition. You can almost make out a dress, a face, and even a bride.
Yo, that legit looks like it has got a mustache. Does it not? Does that not look like a fucking man? Come on, get rid of the highlight. God damn it, they fucking ran it. Anyways, it looks like it had a mustache.
A much more disturbing apparition has also been witnessed at the hotel. Some guests have even reported waking up at night to find the horrifying figure standing in their hotel room, just watching them sleep.
Alright.
Now, the new owners of the historic Jefferson Hotel, Jeremy and Pam Jones, are starting to experience paranormal activity in their own hotel. One night at 2 a.m., Jeremy is doing some work in the hotel hallway, and this happens. There's no audio on this video, but Jeremy claims that he heard a voice right before this hotel door mysteriously unlatches and swings open on its own. Now that's creepy enough, but that's not the only night they capture something truly bizarre on
reaction
camera.
seemed kind of genuine there as well.
Cut to another late night. It's 4 a.m. and Jeremy and his wife are fast asleep in bed when one of the motion sensing cameras in the upstairs hallway picks up something or someone moving around. The hotel is completely empty, so Jeremy fears that an intruder might be inside. He runs upstairs, but as he looks down into the hallway from the stairwell, he doesn't see anyone. He wakes up his wife Pam and they look back at the security footage. They are both shocked by what they find.
Okay.
At the end of the hallway, right outside room 19, which is said to be the most haunted room in the hotel, someone or something seems to be walking. Jeremy and his wife Pam search the hotel together but find no one inside.
What's up, Viking?
Who or whatever this strange figure is, it seems to have mysteriously just disappeared. So is the historic Jefferson Hotel haunted? And did the owners and guests capture real paranormal activity on camera?
Evidence.
Let me know what you think. You can watch more paranormal moments and captures in the hotel on Jeremy and Pam's official Facebook and YouTube channel, both of which are named The Historic Jefferson Hotel. If you see a video that you think would be perfect,
I would give that one probably a solid 6.5 out of 10. I think there was enough evidence there with apparition, and all their reactions seemed genuine there. Usually I'm pretty good at reading people when they're lying. Or trying to act, I should say, trying to be like genuine, and they're not being genuine. So I feel like all those reactions as a whole were pretty fucking spot on. So I would give that a 6. I'll give it a 6.5, and I would like to go there, but it's never gonna happen. Sorry.
For the top 5, or if you have a ghost hunting channel and you caught something great, contact me at nukes.5@gmail.com.
I think it'd be legit fun just to go to a hotel like that and pick a room, like room 19, and with like just 2 people, and have cameras looking down each end of the hallway, and 3 corners of the bedroom, getting all angles, with including handheld cameras, and just getting drunk and just like having typical conversation, even forgetting that you're ghost hunting. And once you start to just get relaxed and start, feeling your vibe, your mood, that's when shit will start happening. And then, it'll be the easiest ghost hunt ever. Plus you get drunk, Awesome.
Whispers in the dark. So I just could not find a Thai language translator for this next video. So I put out a request on Instagram at the last minute, and Nuke's Top 5 viewers Humberto and Pammy Gutierrez actually stepped up and volunteered to translate this video. So a huge thank you to both of them. Follow them on Instagram. So paranormal investigator Dr. B from the Thai YouTube channel Ghost Ambassador travels to an abandoned country club in Thailand with his team. Locals believe that the tall building is extremely haunted by angry spirits. It is said that 2 men who were hanging out on the roof of the building were pushed off by something that they couldn't see. The men fell 5 stories to the ground. 1 man tragically lost his life, but the other man lived to tell the horrific tale. Dr. B interviews a local man who lives nearby. The man explains to the team that the 4th floor of the abandoned club is the most supernaturally active. Many visitors have seen the terrifying apparition of a girl stroking her hair. And those who are brave enough to walk through the building say that they get the strange feeling that someone or something is following close behind them. While the team is interviewing the man in front of the creepy building, the camera's microphone starts to pick up odd, unexplained whispers.
แต่ถ้าว่าพี่เดินไปเนี่ยสังเกตทางชั้น4อ่ะถ้าเอาขวดพลาสติกขึ้นไปไว้นะถ้าลมมันแรงปุ๊บมันจะวิ่งออกหน้าปุ๊บแล้วมันจะสกรูถอยหลังมาหาพี่เหมือนมันเล่นกับพี่
An unknown voice seems to whisper the words "Chwai Dwai," which in English translates to "Please help."
มันจะวิ่งออกหน้าปุ๊บแล้วมันจะสกรูถอยหลังมาหาพี่เหมือนมันเล่นกับพี่
These chilling whispers occur several times throughout the video.
ไม่ได้สติเลยหน้าธนาคารเขาบอกว่าเขามีเพราะผมสีหน้า
Why do I?
ยิ่งถ้าคนน้อยนะทิ้งทุกจุดเลยผมพูดได้เลยว่าแต่ละชั้นโอเคเขาพี่ป๋องอะมาที่เนี่ยพี่ป๋อง
Why do I? Or Chewy Dewey? I don't know.
ของเขาเพราะว่าเขากราบไหว้กันอะไรกันมึงไม่เชื่อมึงก็อย่าลบหลู่งั้นผมเป็นกินเงินพนันมาไม่รู้เท่าไหร่แล้วผมนี่ก็จองผมบัง
But it gets even creepier. When they talk about the female spirit who is said to haunt the 4th floor of the creepy abandoned building, this happens.
ไหนนะพี่เขาบอกพี่อู๋อะมายืนตรงเนี้ยแล้วพี่อู๋มองขึ้นไปชั้น4จะเห็นเลยจริงเหรอล่มพัง อะไรนะแต่เสียงอะไรไม่เข้าใจเสียงว่าช่วยด้วยเสียงใคร
Look up.
เนี่ยลูกเพจเขาได้ยินแบบเยอะ
Did you see it? A strange white translucent figure seems to move, perhaps even walk, straight into a solid wall.
Oh, of course, like right before the flashlight can get to it. What the fuck? How do they time this shit to be like perfectly like how do that makes no sense, man. It's always like just out of frame, just out of sight. Like you can't fucking see it right.
The figure seems to have no particular shape, but viewers believe it to be the spirit of the girl who haunts the 4th floor.
I mean, it's...
So, are the stories true? Is the country club haunted by angry, restless spirits? Or just what is going on here? Tell me what you think.
I don't know. The camera movement was like kind of odd there, like a little bit sus. Like he was aiming at nothing. I don't know. That one wasn't... That one wasn't spooky to me, really at all. I give that one a 3 out of 10.
Meanwhile, on TikTok user Sabrina Lozito shares a home with her boyfriend Christopher and their 2 children in Bayville, New Jersey. The couple claims that they experience frequent strange paranormal events in their home. And it's not so surprising, as the house has a gruesome history that sounds like something right out of a horror movie. You see, years ago the house was relocated, and it was placed right on top of an old cemetery, where it still stands to this day. As if that wasn't disturbing enough, Sabrina also says that an elderly man passed away in the home just before they moved in. So, one night Sabrina and her boyfriend are watching a movie when their dog suddenly starts freaking out, but they have no idea why. Then, only moments later, they get a notification from their CCTV camera that there's movement in their backyard.
Oh, fuck that.
They rush to check their footage, and what they find is chilling.
My video camera was recording and no one was out back. Took a look, no one was out back. Check this out. Watch in between the square. Mainly watch this spot right here. You can see a shadow up here. Boom.
And no one's there.
And then you see this little orb right here.
And then you
watch. Babe. Look at that. No one's out back.
Interesting.
It just sits there too.
It does. It just sits right there.
Oh wow,
see
it's just floating there.
Full shadow, like a
That's
person.
nuts. I don't know how long it sits
Goes
there
away.
for. Orb goes away. Comes back. Now watch. The person's gonna disappear.
The fuck did it just drop?
It's like they're just boom.
Boom. Gone.
A strange shadow appears out of nowhere, and an odd source of light can be seen floating in their backyard. Sabrina and Christopher say that they immediately went outside and checked their yard, but there was no one there. After posting the video to TikTok, there were some doubters that said it was probably just the shadow of a person standing there, maybe holding a flashlight. But the couple wasn't having it. They posted a follow-up video to actually attempt to debunk their own video using the methods suggested by viewers.
Sabrina's standing there. Alright, walk outside real quick. No, she has no shadow. Shut the light off. I know it.
Dog's like, I don't mind if I do. Go outside.
Alright, walk over there. No shadow. Look at that shit.
The only thing so far it could be is it was digitally enhanced CGI kind of stuff. I don't think it's overly hard to make a shadow, but the orb I cannot explain. That is weird, and that I feel like the orb would be much harder to fucking do and make look that erratic and realistic. And it looked like it was dropping something at one point. So I don't think it's fake. If I had to guess, I'd bet my money that this is real. But I'm just saying, the way that the original shadow, if that orb wasn't there, I would probably go with it's fake. But just because of that orb being there along with the shadow, I would probably lean towards it being real.
So did their CCTV camera capture something paranormal on camera? Or is it all just an elaborate hoax? You decide. TikTok user Gabrielle and her friend Ashley go on a road trip to explore an abandoned asylum, the Northern State Mental Hospital in Sedro-Woolley, Washington. The building opened in 1912 and was the forced home for many mentally ill patients until it shut its doors 61 years later in 1973. Gabrielle and Ashley are exploring the property when something happens that absolutely shocks them both.
Ashley.
Fearing someone might be in danger, Gabrielle says she immediately called 911 after hearing this bizarre screaming. But after posting her video to TikTok, one viewer reached out to Gabrielle to calm her down. The viewer explained that there is actually another mental facility nearby that is still open to this day, and maybe that was the source of the bizarre screams they heard. When looking at a map, there is indeed a psychiatric treatment center in the area. However, it's not as close as you might think judging from the volume of those screams.
That's definitely, like, close. Like, that's not that far away. For like, guaranteed. There's no way. Like, the voice might carry if the wind was coming at you, like, from that person. Like, I don't know, but that wouldn't be that loud. That's, like, in that tree line or in the... It looks like they're looking at the tree line. But I don't think that would be from that far away, that voice.
Ashley.
From where Gabrielle and Ashley were standing, it's actually about half a mile to the new treatment center. And in between that space, there are several groups of trees, a patch of woods, a flowing creek, and also several blocks of commercial buildings. So the question is, could one disturbed woman's voice travel that far through all of those obstacles and still be heard that clearly half a mile away?
No.
Did Gabrielle simply hear the screams of a disturbed
Not
patient?
that loud. Maybe if they were, like, screaming on the top of their lungs and it was nighttime or, you know, there wasn't any traffic or anything like that. Maybe. But it'd be distant. Even then, it'd be distant and you could barely hear it. It wouldn't be that fucking loud.
Or could it be something else? Let me know what you think. Now, this next video was reposted on a
I would say that's an 8 out of 10 spooky level. Can you imagine if you heard that? Now, if I was there with a buddy, I would want to go investigate where that is coming from, for sure. Because I would automatically assume it's probably fucking either A, someone getting murdered, or B, paranormal. And I would want to see either way. I would want to be like, okay, is someone getting murdered? Like, what's up? But I would want to see where that's coming from if we could identify where the source is coming from. So I would at least have explored a little bit into where, you know, the direction the sound it was coming from, you know, so that's what I would have done, but I don't know, that would freak me the fuck out. If you hear a woman screaming, that'd be fucking terrifying. I don't know, it's just unsettling.
Random TikTok account that just didn't give any credit to the...
So we got a 4 out of 10, a 9 out of 10, a 7.5, a solid 8. Some 7s and 4s, 3s, 2s.
Original video poster. I've looked for hours, but I wasn't able to find the original source. However, the video is very creepy, so I think it deserves a spot in the top 5. In the video, recorded by a security camera, you see a little girl sitting in her bed, seeming a bit distressed. What happens next is truly bizarre.
What?
The girl is obviously scared as you see her looking at something in her bedroom.
First of all, that scared the fuck. When he walked in the room, I just saw this black something coming in. I was like, oh my god. But that panic in his voice, that made the whole thing way scarier.
A chair then suddenly begins to rock back and forth on its own. Luckily, the child's father sees the activity and rushes in to rescue his terrified daughter. Now, obviously, I have no idea what happens next. So if you happen to know the original source for this video, please let me know down in the comments. Dead and...
If that was an earthquake, though, you'd have seen more than just the chair moving, for sure. You would have seen the camera, literally, the camera itself would have shaked if it was an earthquake. Like, everything would have shaked. So it's you can rule out an earthquake right then and there, easily.
And fans of popular YouTube...
But the dad, I'm guessing, to your second question, Astros, is probably, if I had to guess, the dad had either a, like, baby cam, like the camera that was set up in the room. Obviously, he had a camera in there. He probably had that was probably the footage from the baby cam or whatever source of that was. And either, if I had to guess, they probably were sensing something out there as well, like where the mom and dad were, or wherever the dad was. He probably experienced something and it was like, what the fuck? Check the camera and saw that shit happening. So he's like, nah, fuck that. If I had to guess. Yeah, children's reactions are usually genuine. You can't really make children act upon fear, like real genuine fear, that they don't really know how to do that, and they don't understand. Especially when they're super young. They don't care. They don't care about your fucking YouTube. They don't give two fucks.
Ghost hunter Franco TV have requested many times that
I
he
would
make
give that
a
one a
return
9 out of
visit
10.
to investigate the Weeping Angel Cemetery in Florida. It's no surprise that this particular graveyard is so popular amongst Franco TV viewers. He's been there many times and caught some extremely scary paranormal activity. One of the most memorable of these encounters was the sighting of an old lady just roaming the graveyard.
This is one of the fucking creepiest motherfucking things I've ever seen in my life. This old ladies freak me the fuck out, especially because they're so bony and nasty looking and fucking, that is creepy as fuck. I hate this video. This video is fucking 10 out of 10 easily scary. That, like, when she looks at him, ugh. I would have thrown a rock at her right then. Just to make sure. Worst case scenario, you know, it probably does good anyway, so.
Yeah. Not doing that.
Now, Frank has never claimed that this person was a ghost or anything supernatural, but many of his viewers seem convinced that the odd visitor was in fact some sort of paranormal apparition. This time, Franco TV is back again to explore the ominous, empty Weeping Angels Cemetery late at night. First, he makes his way to the same area where he originally spotted the elderly woman. Things immediately start to get very strange.
I got some stuff on the floor here. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, that's creepy. That thing just started moving. And there is no wind. I wish I had a flag to show you. What the f? There's no wind.
Why is there slippers right where she was sitting, dude?
Look at the leaves.
Those are looking fake.
Alright, hold on.
That thing weighs like nothing though. That thing's like a piece of paper basically. Like those fucking little pot holder things. Those can move with just the slightest breeze. So I'm not completely buying that 100%, but I'm more curious why there's slippers right where she was sitting.
Let me make sure I get this on. Damn it. There we go.
Ugh.
Yeah, I'm not touching that. I don't know what that's about.
Frank finds an abandoned pair of leopard-patterned slippers at the exact same spot where the elderly woman had been seated in the previous video. Even creepier, a plastic pot suddenly begins to move on its own. Frank points out that there's no wind or draft that could have made the pot move, and of course the occurrence is especially bizarre considering the location. But Franco TV continues on and takes a turn down a small hidden dirt road behind the cemetery. This is when things take a terrifying turn.
I just got movement.
Whoa.
Here.
Turn the light back on. Whoa.
Ouch. I literally have bugs eating me alive right now. What the hell is that?
Can you imagine just like dead sprinting at him?
I actually have somebody there.
Turn your light on! What the fuck? Turn your light on! Turn your light on. Turn your light on, motherfucker! You should have got it. I would have let it get a little closer.
What the hell?
That is fucking scary, though. That is scary as fuck. I want to go here now. Where do you say this was at located?
What? I legitimately just had somebody. Or like a dark shadow.
Frank says he hears movement coming from somewhere down the creepy path. When he points his thermal imaging camera towards the sound, he sees a dark figure standing in the middle of the road. A figure that doesn't seem to emanate any body heat on the thermal image. Even creepier, the figure seems to be getting closer and closer, but when Frank turns on his flashlight, there's no one there. When he goes back to his thermal camera, the figure has now disappeared. He calls out to it into the distance, but no one answers. No longer feeling safe walking along the spooky dirt road, Franco TV decides to get into his car and instead drives down the creepy pathway.
If that was me, and I don't know if this is like a individual wireless piece of equipment that he's using, I would assume to some degree, I would have set that fucker down on the ground, aiming at that thing, and walked away. If I'm that freaked out about it and I don't want to get that close to it, which I probably wouldn't if I was alone. But I'd set it down and then walk the fuck away and see if it walks up to that and I can get great footage that way. And then come back with my flashlight on like, hey, motherfucker, I'm going to grab this, leave me the fuck alone, grab that shit up, and then that way you can still get great fucking video from it, you know what I mean? Instead of running away and panicking too soon. Now, that's easier said than done. Doing this alone would be very terrifying. I'm not saying that's not terrifying, but you sign up for this bullshit, man. You sign up for this, so you got to catch some flack for fucking bailing out that quick. You know, I understand if it's like dead sprinting at you and it's coming at you in an aggressive way. Yeah, I obviously would fucking book it too. But if you're going solo, it's on you. That's on you. You should be going with someone else if you're that scared.
From the safety of his vehicle, it did not go well.
I wouldn't go alone either. That's why you wouldn't ever see me running like it.
I'm hearing noises. Oh, no. I'm hearing stuff.
That's scary.
No, screw that. Holy there is somebody in there. That's not even, that's not a ghost. There is somebody legit inside the graveyard. Or maybe it is. I don't know. I'm not claiming anything. All I'm saying is that somebody's there. And that scared the hell out of me.
Franco hears a sudden loud rustling coming towards him from the dark woods. He hits the gas and just gets out of there. Now, Franco is undecided on whether he experienced something paranormal or just happened to capture someone wandering outside the cemetery late at night for some reason.
Yeah, it's not a person.
But what makes this footage even more chilling is that back in 2019 on this very same dirt road, police found a body. Someone who had lost their life in a violent altercation. So could this mysterious dark figure be their restless spirit? Or just what or who could this unexplained figure be?
Ghost, man.
As always, I leave it up to you to decide. You can watch this full video and many more creepy
That's easily a 10 out of 10 for me. Easily a 10 out of 10. I don't give those out very often, but that's a 10 out of 10.
Investigations over on the YouTube channel, Franco TV. Thanks so much for watching. Please follow me on Instagram here and on Twitter right there.
Ooh, a 6 out of 10 for Texas Oil Boom. That's an incredibly high score on his scale. One of his highest ever. So now we got another video queued up. Now this video, not many of you know about it. You've heard me talk about it, and I've kind of explained what happened, but if you're into like serial killers and murders and stuff like that, you'll really find interest to this. Basically, for those who have joined in, I kind of explained at the beginning, but basically what I want my first ghost investigation to be, and I will go. It's a matter of time at this point. There's a few things I want, like in terms of equipment, like thermal imaging and stuff like that, but that's down the road. I'm planning on going late summer, okay, just to set up a picture for you. The place is called Villisca Axe Murder House. It's in Villisca, Iowa. It's the setting of a gruesome, I think, 6 or 8, I think maybe 8 people were killed. A family of 5 or 6, and then their 2 daughters had friends over that night. And they were all brutally murdered with an axe by a killer who was believed to have stayed the night in the house while they were gone, so that he could massacre them in their sleep. Because this isn't a house, mind you, that you could walk around in without making noise. It's got old creaky floors. It's one of those old houses. It's impossible. Very creaky floors, especially the stairs. Especially the fucking stairs. So, it's believed that this killer waited in there and fucking murdered them brutally. And no one got out of the bed. No one even made it out of their beds, which is weird. And the killer was never found. There was like 5 people or something like that ended up confessing to the murders. But that's weird. I mean, no one was ever found guilty or even... So yeah, it's weird, it's bizarre. I don't think any of the people that they found suspects were actually the killer. I've watched a lot of videos on this and read a lot of articles on it and stuff. It sounds like all the people that we'll watch it, you'll see the 5 people that were accused. I don't think any of them did it, but let me see here. It's very interesting. It's only like a 13-minute video. Ever heard of Helltown? Never heard of it. What is Helltown? Once my dad made me believe a street was haunted because he would hit me on my shoulder and I thought it was a ghost. There you go. I mean, that'll teach you. That's the bunny man. All right, let's see here.
In the middle of the night on June 9th, 1912.
I hate when YouTube. Come on, pause. All right, there we go. So here's a documentary. It's bizarre. The comments I'm working on you will not be alone. That shithead behind you will be with you. Oh, Paco and your comics? Hell yeah, dude. Let me know when you post it, and if you want to post it on the Reddit, you're more than welcome to.
A family of 6 and their 2 visitors were murdered in Villisca, Iowa. They were bludgeoned to death by someone with an axe, and to this day, their murders remain unsolved. Villisca was a small town in southwestern Iowa with a population of between 2,000 and 2,500. In this town lived the Moore family, the father Josiah Moore, the mother Sarah, and their 4 children, 11-year-old Herman Montgomery, 10-year-old Mary Catherine, 7-year-old Arthur, and the youngest child, Paul, age 5. On June 9th, prior to the night of the murder, Sarah Moore had coordinated an annual event at the family's Presbyterian church called the Children's Day Program, which started around 8 p.m.
What's up, Vincent?
The entire family attended the event. When the church services ended at approximately 9:30 p.m., Catherine Moore invited her 2 friends, Ina Mae Stillinger, age 8, and Lena Gertrude Stillinger, age 12, to spend the night at their house because the sisters were afraid to walk home in the dark. Mr. Moore called their residence to ask the parents' permission and got a hold of their older sister Blanche, who said their parents were out, but that she would give them the message. At around 9:30, they left the church by foot and arrived at their house between 9:45 and 10 p.m. The next morning, their neighbor Mary Peckham was in her yard hanging laundry around 5 a.m. when she noticed that nobody was awake at the Moore's house yet, which was unusual. At about 7 a.m., she became concerned when nobody had come out of the house to do their regular chores. She approached the Moore's residence and knocked on the door. When no one responded, she attempted to open the door, but it was locked. She went ahead and let the Moore's chickens out of their coop, then called Josiah's brother Ross Moore. When Ross arrived, he tried knocking and shouting through the door, but got no response. He also couldn't see into the house because the window shades had been pulled down. He eventually used a spare key to gain entry into the home. Inside, he discovered 2 bloody bodies covered by a sheet in the bed of the guest bedroom, and blood splattered on the headboard of the bed. He ran outside and immediately phoned Joe's hardware store and asked an employee to alert the town's marshal, Henry Hank Horton, that something terrible had happened. Hank arrived at the house around 8:30 a.m. and began his inspection. There was an uneaten plate of food on the kitchen table next to a pot of bloody water. All the mirrors in the house, and even the glass in the doors, had been covered with clothing that the killer had found while rummaging through the Moore's dressers. The axe used for the murders was partially wiped clean and lying against the wall in the guest bedroom, with a 4-pound slab of bacon wrapped in cloth sitting next to it.
So a couple weird things here to touch on. Obviously, he covered all the mirrors, which is weird. It's a weird thing. I mean, I understand. Did he believe that once he killed these people, he was going to see them in their mirrors? Like the ghost or the dead people. I don't know. I mean, that would freak him out. Was it just a thing where I don't know? It's a weird thought that he used when doing that, and I'm curious. I would love to know why. And the 4-pound slab of bacon is obviously weird. I know there's a lot of theories on it. I think they touch on some of the theories on why. Like there's theories he actually made a whole meal after he murdered them and shit. A bunch of weird shit that he did. Like he was in this house until like early morning, like very early morning, and left. So I don't know.
The 2 bedrooms that the Moore family occupied had axe marks on the ceiling. Investigators knew these marks were from the attack because there were dust particles from the ceiling on the beds. They also concluded that the marks on the ceilings were not in correlation to hitting the victims. This led some to speculate that the killer was swinging the axe around in a crazed frenzy. Sarah Moore was the only one who had obvious slices in her unrecognizable face from the sharp end of the weapon. The rest of the victims had been beaten to death with the blunt end of the axe. The parents had their heads struck at least 20 to 30 times, and there was evidence that the killer had gone to their room twice. After the murderer delivered the fatal blows to everyone's heads, they went to the parents' rooms to do more damage. Josiah Moore was crushed completely from his upper jaw and up. There was blood, brain tissue, and skull fragments spread all over the top of the bed's headboard. In the guest room, Lena Stillinger was hanging a third of the way out of the bed, her nightgown pulled up above her waist, and her underwear thrown under the bed. Blood and brain tissue was on her pillow. She also had a blood spot on the inside of her left leg above the knee, and it's been speculated that the killer pulled her down the bed. Some think she may have been the only one who woke up because of the position she was in, while others think the killer pulled her down after he killed her. Her sister Ina was on the right side of the bed, facing left towards Lena, with her hips rotated so that her buttocks was hanging out of the bed towards the direction of the lamp that was sitting on the floor next to the bed. Because of this display, it's believed the killer placed them this way for his viewing pleasure. However, doctors concluded they were not sexually abused. All of the Moore children appeared to have slept through the killings and were killed by blunt force trauma to the head. The marshal went back outside to Ross Moore and said, "My God, Ross, there's somebody murdered in every bed."
What I just can't even, comprehend is how, killing someone with an axe is not a silent thing. Like, hitting someone, especially the blunt side, you're gonna hear a fucking crunch, you're gonna hear, a loud thud, really loud thuds. And, that would be enough to wake me up, personally. I would wake up, especially, maybe the first one, if he just hits him once. I don't know, I'm waking up. But then again, there's also, with children, they could have definitely been awake and heard something going on and were just so scared that they just pretended to sleep. That's something that children do. That's why he went for the parents first, because he knew once the parents are gone, he could kill the rest easy, whether they're asleep or not. But it's very I don't think it's unusual that the kids could have been awake and conscious and just too scared to do anything. Maybe they were, who knows, but they'd never been out of the beds, which is odd. But yeah, I don't think I'm sure at least a few of them had to have woken up at the end. Whoever the last two that got hit, they had to have, I would assume. But, yeah, did the killer not want to see himself killing? I don't know. It's weird to me. It's very odd. I don't know why. It's something gotta be, either that or he just was scared he was going to see them back in the mirror, alive again, in the afterlife. Yeah, why kill, 8 people? That's a good question. I don't know. It's bizarre. Murder is a weird fucking, planned murder like this is very, very, very fucking odd.
He went back into town to get the doctor, and while he was there, made the grave mistake of mentioning the murder to some townspeople. Word spread like wildfire. Operators threw on the all-call switch that existed in the early 1900s and sent out a message letting everyone know about it. Stores closed down, neighbors and friends told everyone they could, and it didn't take long for the Moore's property to become a madhouse. At least 100 people invaded the home to gawk at the bodies, running and shouting from room to room, possibly disturbing evidence. The marshal tried to get the situation under control, but when he'd get people out one door, more would come pouring in through another. No one would listen, and the coroner didn't arrive until after the townspeople did. Luckily, the marshal and 2 doctors had gone in the house first and managed to complete an examination of the scene before people started barging in. 2 finished cigarettes had been found in the attic, leading investigators to believe that the killer hid out there until the Moore family got home and went to sleep. It said that nobody woke up during the murders. Some believe the killer may have drugged their food so they would stay asleep while the killings took place.
Another theory right there is that he drugged their food so they would stay asleep. Again, entirely possible. Now, if that would have happened in today's world, they would have known that from, autopsy reports. But that's also the other theory. The other thing I'll touch on, I think they do bring it up in this video, is that while I do think if you murder someone like this, you are mentally ill, definitely to a degree. But I think there's different levels of, obviously, mental illness, where, like, you're still conscious and know what you're doing, you're just sick in the head. There's something fucking wrong with you, but you are very, very, very conscious and know better, you know? And I think this guy was very conscious and smart and knew what he was doing. But there was killings, I believe, in, like, California or something like that, somewhere over in the West Coast, that was identical to this, where he had covered the mirrors, covered the windows, killed them all with the axe in the same exact manner. So that, like, to me, is a weird connection. I think there was actually multiple. I think the last one was just in California. But if you were to kill someone, where the fuck would you go? Far the fuck away, right? So, like, well, why would he end up in Iowa? Well, he probably just took a fucking train or automobile or whatever and drove as far as he could, got the fuck away, settled down a little bit, made his way somehow, whether it was for work or just, I don't know, found his way into this town and then picked a target. And that's probably what happened, if it was my guess at this point. And I think they do talk about that, I think.
Another theory is that the killer delivered a single blow to their heads that was powerful enough to kill on the first strike, and then went back to the parents' room a second time to bludgeon their faces. There are two main theories to the bacon found wrapped in a cloth. The first is that the killer meant to steal it when they left. The other theory was that the slab of bacon had been used by the killer as an artificial vagina, judging from the way they positioned the Stillinger sisters, and that the bacon was next to them. However, no fluids or hair had been found at the crime scene. At the start of the investigation, there were several suspects and people who gave confessions to being the killer, but all were eventually dismissed as suspects. There were axe murders happening in other states as well, along the trail of the Southern Pacific Railroad. Whether it was the same person or not, the axe murder sites were easy to reach if you were traveling by train. Many of the axe murders were done the same way.
Yeah, see? That is crazy. Like, that is such a huge... That has to be connected. It has to be.
Whole families being killed and bludgeoned with the blunt end of the axe. Some houses even had the windows and mirrors covered, like in Villisca.
Yep.
It took 2 years for a trial to take place for the Villisca murders. It seemed like every person in town had someone to suspect. Everybody was scared, and the sense of peace Villisca had was gone. Days after the murder, you couldn't find a gun or door lock available because they had all been bought out. Despite the many people who had been suspected, the prime suspects were Senator of Iowa Frank Jones, Reverend George Kelly, William Mansfield, Andy Sawyer, and Henry Lee Moore. Frank Jones was an employer of Josiah for several years until Josiah managed to open up his own implement company. It was after this that Frank and Josiah became competitive rivals. Their relationship became so bitter that they didn't talk to each other whenever they crossed paths in town. There was also a rumor, which had never been proven, that Josiah had an affair with Frank's daughter-in-law, which added contention to their already soured relationship. Frank became part of a theory that he had hired William Blackie Mansfield to kill the Moores. William Mansfield became a suspect of the Villisca murders 2 years after they happened, when he was suspected of killing his own wife, infant, and father and mother-in-law with an axe. He was also believed to have committed axe murders that took place in Paola, Kansas. The one who blamed him for the murders was Detective James Newton Wilkerson from the Burns Detective Agency of Kansas City, who had pieced together a story with the rumors of the town against Jones. Mansfield's family was found bludgeoned, axe wiped clean, mirrors and windows covered with clothes, and lamps on the floor by the bed. However, Mansfield was acquitted of the charges when his payroll records proved he was in Illinois during the time of the Villisca murders. Mansfield later sued Detective Wilkerson and received $2,225.
So it kind of clears him. He wasn't the guy that murdered him. He has records that prove that. But, what was I going to say? I forgot. God damn it. I was going to say something and I forgot. It was Mo Lester.
Several months after
the guy we're watching
killings,
is
a man named Henry Moore.
It's horror stories. Someone actually told me to look up horror stories, and I did, and I found this on there. It's awesome.
Who had no relationship to the Moore family, was convicted for the murder of his mother and grandmother in Columbia, Missouri.
Oh, that's what I was going to say, is every picture taken back in, like, the fucking early 1800s, 1900s, or whatever time period, they all look like fucking murderers. You could take a picture of me just smiling and fucking, after I just got done eating a good burger, and be like, oh, that guy looks like a fucking serial killer, man. Like, what the fuck? They all look creepy serial killer vibes. It's creepy.
Killing them with an axe. A federal investigator believed he was responsible for the Villisca murders, as well as 22 other axe murders across the country. While he was never found guilty of the Villisca murders, he served 36 years of a life sentence for the killing of his mother and grandma. Andy Sawyer was one of the suspected transients. He traveled around looking for work and eventually found a bridge foreman and pile driver and asked him for a job. He was hired on the spot. However, his behavior made his employer and the rest of the work crew worry. Andy had bought a newspaper to read by himself with the Villisca murders on the front page. He seemed very interested in the case and talked quite a lot about it. He also slept fully clothed while gripping his axe that he used to work the railroad. He apparently told the bridge foreman personally that he had been in Villisca that Sunday night when the murders took place and left town fearing he'd be suspected since he was new there. The bridge foreman turned him into authorities, but there was no real evidence linking Sawyer to the killings. It was also discovered that he had been arrested due to vagrancy in Osceola, Iowa when the murders happened. Another prime suspect in the Villisca murders was Reverend George Kelly. Reverend Kelly and his wife arrived in New York from England in 1904. He was a traveling preacher who preached across the U.S. at country churches. Kelly was well known as a sexual deviant who had mental problems. He was seen peeking through windows, and he had already been arrested for writing lewd letters to women who first wrote to him in response to a job offer. Reverend Kelly was a guest at the church the Moores went to on the night of the Children's Day program. The following morning, he had left by train around 5:19 a.m.
So this dude definitely would have sent unsolicited dick pictures, like in modern day, guaranteed. Fucking creep. He's a creep.
When he heard about the murders, he became very interested in them, almost obsessed. In the following weeks, he started writing letters to authorities and family members asking about details of the murder. He even visited the crime scene and joined a team of investigators who just happened to be there at the same time.
Now, I do find this guy the most likely of all of them if I were to pick from one of these 5 candidates, because killers are, like, there's been a lot of instances, not always, a lot of times they do flee the country, they do leave, but a lot of times they're very, very, very confident and they like revel in the fact that they just killed him, and now they're just like, yep, that's odd, that's weird, look at how his body's placed there, I wonder who did that, and the killer's there all along. There's been a lot of cases like that. Some people are like that, where they just are so cocky and confident, they're like, I don't give 2 fucks, but this guy was so out of fucking whack, I don't think he could have done anything competently like that, but, like, this guy's a whack job, like, fucking crazy, like, not right in the head at all.
Some investigators thought it was strange how into the case...
But I think also this guy is tiny as hell. Like, he's small. Like, him swinging an axe and killing people that quick, it's like a child. Like, you might as well throw a fucking 10-year-old kid in there to do this job. This guy is, like, tiny and weak and old.
He was. So a detective named Tom O'Leary wrote a letter back to him, asking him for details on the murder. Reverend Kelly's reply seemed far-fetched. He claimed to have been walking past the Moore's house when he heard the thud of the axe. He claimed the killer was disturbed by a couple walking by and had stepped out onto the porch until they had passed. He also said Mrs. Moore had reared up in bed before the killer struck. The main thing brought up against Kelly in court was that he was supposedly talking about the murder on the train that morning before it was discovered. A lot of people, including some authorities, were unsure of the credibility of his words because he had obvious mental problems. Kelly was arrested in 1917 and was put in jail all summer. When he was interrogated by 3 burly men, a state attorney, a sheriff, and James Risden, head of what would later be Iowa Criminal Investigation, they were shouting at him and threatening him, trying to get him to confess. Kelly said that God told him to commit the murders, saying, "Suffer the children to come unto me." After the confession, he recanted almost immediately. Kelly was tried twice, and both juries found him not guilty. Jury members, along with many other people in Villisca County, still believe that somehow Frank Jones was behind the murder, and somehow used his influence to frame a mentally ill man. Kelly also had a bruise on his cheek during trial, which jurors thought he had gotten during interrogation. Besides being mentally ill, he was only 5'2" and 119 pounds, with a quiet and calm personality. They didn't think Kelly mentally or physically fit the criteria for the crimes committed at Villisca.
That's the key for him, is like, I think with, all these things are, there was no proof to him talking about the murders before they happened. There was no proof of that. It was just all allegations. But he was so, I mean, 5'2", 100, what'd they say, 100, how many pounds?
Mentally or physically fit the criteria ill, he was only 5'2" and 119 pounds.
Dude, that is like the size of a child. Do you know how hard you'd have to swing an axe to kill a man instantly? I mean, you can hit someone right in the right spot, not that hard to kill someone, but to do it to the point where you have to hit him so hard with one blow that it instantly kills him, and then kill the mom, and then go through, that's so much swinging of the axe. Now, I don't doubt crazy people, they're fucking insane. They noted that in the house, there's bludgeons on the wall, or the ceiling, not related to him killing, so he was like swinging it around like a madman, so he's obviously was either in a rage, or just in a thrill, or he's just insane. I just don't know that this guy would fit the bill for that, because he's so little, he's so tiny. Now, I'm not saying that's impossible, by any means, but just bizarre. He looks like a killer, though. Like, I definitely wouldn't be surprised, but I don't know. The fact that the other killings that took place are on the West Coast that were the exact same fashion, the exact same style. Usually killers have styles, like where they do some things a certain way, and it's every time they have a way of doing things that kind of translates at each killing, crime scene. This guy was just some guy, just some crazy fucker that was obsessed with it and was like, oh yeah, I don't know, he's crazy. He knew about the murder because of the newspaper. It was on the front page of the newspaper, and so he started reading it. It was obsessed, or maybe that was a different guy. No, it was him. Yeah, but anyways, he was obsessed with the murders and stuff. But I will say he's the more likely candidate of all the five. But he's insane. So insane people don't work the same. Like, they just think weird and they just say weird shit, and I don't know. They crave weird things. I don't know. You can't read their minds. They're fucking weird. But yeah, that's definitely suspicious.
With a quiet and calm personality, they didn't think Kelly mentally or physically fit the criteria for the crimes committed at Villisca. The investigations lasted for many years, but as time went on, the murder became a cold case. Whoever killed the Moores and the Stillinger sisters took their secret with them to the grave. Over 100 years later, it remains one of Iowa's most perplexing murder mysteries.
So that is the Villisca Axe Murder House. Very fascinating story to me. And going in that house, my sister actually went there, and she said that she did a few things, like put a ball down and see if it would roll or something like that. But she said when she was there, and she just went during the daytime. Like, you can go during daytime tours where they just give you a tour of it. It's not very long. Might be like an hour tour or something like that. They give you a tour, and then they let you look around and stuff and do your own little short investigation if you want. But I think it's only like an hour or something like that. You don't get very long. And when she was there, and it was, like I said, daytime, she got the feeling apparently that something was constantly there, like with her, watching her and behind her, like that, that eerie sixth sense where like something's not right. And so my plan is to go there at night, which is not cheap. It's like $650 to go there for overnight. I want to go there and bring my 2 cameras and film. I don't have nice enough equipment to like have cameras that just sit up. Like this one, for whatever reason, like it doesn't have a cord I can just plug into the fucking... I guess I maybe could buy something like that, but I can't just plug this fucker in. It runs off only batteries. I don't have like a charger for it, like a cable. Otherwise, I could set this bitch up on a tripod and just have to film something. But what I'd probably end up doing is using this handheld and filming, and I can only get an hour of battery life from it, so I don't know how I'm going to do that. But it'd be a mixture of using my phone, my buddy's phone, and then that camera back in the corner back over there, which has night vision, which I would probably use a majority of the time as well, until I ran both cameras dead, both batteries dead, and my phone had, until it was done. But I'm not going by myself. I'm going to go with a buddy. He's already agreed to go, and so that's something that would probably happen July or August, if that. But yeah, it's not cheap to go for sure, and that's the only thing keeping us from doing it. But am I going to stream it? No. I might. I tell you what. If I go to Axe Villisca Murder House, I will stream. I will start a live stream just to check in and say, hey, I'm here. What's up? But I'm not going to stream the entire thing. I'm going to get footage, because if I live stream the whole thing, it's gonna get shitty, fucking blurry, grainy footage and shit that I don't care for. I'm gonna get actual footage, make an actual video, and I've always wanted to do an actual like video, put together audio and video of the incident. But yes, now that you say that, it's not a bad idea. I will, when I get there, I will do like a little live stream, like, hey guys, what's up? I'm here, just chilling, and I'll give you guys like a quick 15-minute video or live stream, or maybe a half-hour live stream. I'll give you guys a live tour. Maybe something happens on the live stream. I think that would be a cool idea. I'm down with that as long as I can connect to the YouTube on my phone. So for sure, yeah, I'd be totally down for that. You've been down to the Whaley house in Southern California a few times and had some similar weird experiences to that. Really? Is there a bad history at the Whaley house then, I assume? What's up, Andy? Yeah, we've done live streams before here on the channel where we do random nodding. And I've gone to a park in the Tess, calm down. Calm down. She has the zoomies. I've went to a park random nodding at nighttime before by myself, and that was some weird shit because it gave me that app was acting weird that night, and there was some kind of weird shit that happened, but nothing like scary. But yeah, I'm very, very excited to go there. That's one of the places I've wanted to go to for so long now. I think I'm very interested in places with a lot of history, whether it's good or bad history. I think it's very fascinating to see. Just be at a point, standing in a place where something historically massive happened at one point. Is interesting to me. It's a notorious house for that kind of thing. Used to be on the city. Okay, I gotcha. One comic panel of the comic where you're setting up a camera and like the comics, and then his camera's point of view, and there's like a small child ghost behind you. That'd be awesome. I'm not scared of a children ghost because they're so tiny and small. I'm bigger than them. Like a fucking adult ghost, that would freak me the fuck out. That, like, I would get pretty fucking scared, but I think I would be able to compose myself and just breathe and just not freak the fuck out and run. Especially if I'm with someone. You know, if something's I honestly think I would, not even joking, I would just brace for impact and just keep filming and say fuck it. Because if I'm running, it's going to incite chase, and I don't want to be chased by anything. I have a bad fucking knee. I could trip down the stairs, break my neck. I don't want to fucking do that. I'm going to stay on my ground, you know, and hopefully get some awesome footage. I hope when I go there I can get something. I hope to God I don't go there for $600 and catch not a damn thing. I never get lucky like that, but I feel like if you go with a small group and you take it very seriously and are just silent and just let the night play out quietly, not trying to force it or fucking ask it just stupid questions, you know, oh, you died, haha, blah blah, like enraging him or something like. Why did my camera just move? Weird. I swear to God, my camera just fucking moved. Oh, you checked out Missing 411, The Hunted. It was awesome. Yeah, dude, it was fucking amazing documentary, wasn't it? That was an amazing. I love that documentary. I'm probably going to watch it again this weekend just because I enjoyed it so much the first time. Oh, so now it's got like multiple people haunting that place, huh? I always wonder, that's like, God, I mean, it's weird. Like, if you were to be murdered and you're an innocent person and then you get to, like, maybe it's just your energy that sticks around, but like, the fact that you still haunt the place would be horrifying to think that you were taken way too soon in a horrible, horrible fucking way, and then you're stuck. You're not even allowed to go into the afterlife. You're just stuck there, like, in pain still. Like that forever? Oh my God. Fuck that. Yeah. There's so many of those hiker situations where, like, people would disappear, and none of it made any sense, and they couldn't just, like, I think it was the first story in that documentary where the old hunter on the like, they were in a line chasing out, I think, hogs or something, or the younger guys were pushing hogs to them, or deer maybe it was, and they started moving in, and the guy just, like, they heard some kind of mechanical trap or something, and the old guy, who was not even 20 yards away, was all of a sudden gone. Never found. And he was an old guy. It's not like he would have taken off and sprinted away. He was old and, like, 86 years old. Like, couldn't move barely. He just sat there. And he just was gone forever. No one found him. And they sweeped the entire fucking, using string line to make sure that they checked that spot, and made a grid of string line. Still couldn't find the motherfucker. Yeah, after death is weird. There's a lot of theories on it. And I don't think we'll find out until we know now. I think we're gonna die and we'll be like, oh shit. So that's what it is. Maybe we'll die and nothing happens at all. You just lose consciousness and it's over. Which is kind of also scary because it's like, damn. Not having consciousness is a fucking weird thought. If you ever thought of that, just not having consciousness, while it wouldn't suck because you don't have consciousness, it's still just a weird thought. You're not even existing. We can't, like, my brain can't fathom that. Like, what happens if you just don't exist? I mean, obviously nothing, but, like, still. It's weird. It's weird to think of you not having a consciousness, what I'm saying. It's weird to think that. Found a rope/chain blocking off the living room. Well, it's never good when things start moving by themselves. I'm just yawning for some reason. Fuck me. I found a presentation by the guy who was at that camp in the Hunted. He has more records of the Bigfoot. I wonder, yeah, I would like to go back to that spot where he originally, like, where they had that Bigfoot camp. I would love to go to that spot. Bugs don't remember. Can we watch a couple of bizarre, but we are gonna just chill for about 10 minutes before we end the stream. But maybe next time, if you can send me some links to some things on Twitter or probably Twitter would be best. Alright, Texas Oil Boom, thank you for tuning in, my guy. I hope to see you soon. Take care. Don't turn your light off when you go to sleep tonight, because I heard a rumor that there was a rabid chupacabra in your closet. Not even joking, that's an actual rumor I heard, so be careful, buddy. Imagine going camping in Navajo territory and waking up 3 o'clock only to hear doom music start playing. That's probably not good. That's probably not good. Imagine going camping in Navajo territory. You wake up at 3 o'clock a.m. to go take a pee outside your tent. And out in the distance, through the fog in a field, you see a deer standing on its hind legs, just walking like a human. Can you imagine how scary that would be? And then all of a sudden, as you're staring at it closer and closer, the deer just whips its neck out at you and stares at you, like it stops in its track and just notices you. And its eyes are shining like in the moonlight. And you're like, what the fuck? And then all of a sudden, like, it stares at you for what seems like a century, but it's only like 5 seconds, and then it just takes off dead sprinting on its back hind legs like a human would run, but it's a deer form, screaming on the top of its lungs. Can you imagine seeing shit like that? I would instantly stop camping right then and there, get in my fucking truck, and get the fuck out of Dodge. You can animate, dude. If you can animate that, you totally should. And put that shit on the Reddit, and we'll review it during a stream. That'd be awesome if you could make that fucking happen. Easily, that's from someone's either creepypasta or, and apparently it was a real encounter that someone had. That was the scariest thing I've ever heard. Do the cats sleep with you in bed? Only Tess does. Tess sleeps up with me at the beginning of the night, and then sometime in the middle of the night she goes towards my feet. But yeah, she'll sleep. Usually she'll sleep most of the night with me, cuddle up against my shoulder, and she'll pass out there. And then she'll wake up in the morning time with me. What's up, Spencer? We're just winding down the stream, about 8 minutes left, so just chilling. If you got any questions or anything like that, now's the time to ask. There's a campsite near the Navajo Reservation I know of. It's at El Morro National Monument near Native American ruins. You ever been to it? You have to send me a link to that Speedmocker on Twitter if you want. If you want a link to my Twitter. I have to approve all videos that come in. I've had bad experiences with just looking up links and shit, but I'll give you my Twitter here. If you're curious about that. Yeah, Tess has a bedtime because if I don't put her to bed, then she has zoomies all night. And so I put her to bed, and she'll go to bed when I tell her to. Usually it's around 10:30, 11 o'clock every night on school nights, or not school nights, work nights for me. And on the weekends she gets to stay up later. Have you guys ever heard of a duende? Absolutely, we've heard of duendes. I love duendes. I would always wanted to fight one 1v1 because they're so little. I feel like I could fucking knock one out. But yeah, duendes are creepy nonetheless. Oh, you deliver mail to the monument. Damn, that's awesome. You should get some pictures of it sometime. Well, I guess if you're delivering mail, you probably don't want to take pictures, but that would be good to get some pictures. Yeah, Tess will usually let me know when she's ready for bed, which is earlier than when I put her to bed sometimes. She'll stand up on her hind legs and, like, I'm sitting in this chair right here, and she'll reach up and keep touching me in my arm, and she'll meow. I look down and she'll meow, her little squeaky meow, and then she'll want to be sitting in my lap. Sometimes I'll let her sit in my lap and fall asleep, and then I'll put her to bed, but... Yeah, we did watch the Villisca Axe Murder House by Horror Stories, and it was an excellent fucking video, dude. Excellent video. Everyone thought it was pretty creepy and interesting. I'll have the replay up if you are interested in that after the stream's done. And actually, you can still go back right now if you want. But I'll have the replay up when I end the stream here in a few minutes. And you can go back and watch, see everyone's reaction there, too. I want to go camping now. Yeah, camping is fun. Camping is fun. Especially if you go with people that you enjoy. Camping is fucking fun. Horror Stories seems like a... Yeah, they definitely do seem like that. Yeah, I can't wait to go to Villisca, though. I cannot fucking wait. Someday. What's up, Danny? Sorry for being late. Oh, you don't have to be sorry, man. You got lives, too. If you're not the stream right in time, that ain't your fault. Years ago, I had a weird thing happen to me when where I was in bed. I was in bed late, couldn't sleep, and out the window I see 3 hair-like things go up and then down as soon as they came. Interesting. Oh, and you live on the 2nd floor, so nothing should have been in front of your window. I think what's interesting, and if you guys ever get into deep conversations with people, whether it's at work or whatever, I think it's always interesting to find out people's stories, like their ghost stories, like people's ghost experiences. I've asked everyone I've ever known that I've worked with, you get any, especially the older folks who've been around for a while, they usually have at least one or two stories that are just like mind-bending, like fucking terrifying, like creepy as fuck. So if you ever got those people in your life, ask them, like, do you got any fucking scary ghost encounters that you've experienced? I see that, Chris Maki, and that does look fucking terrifying. That one rock on that cliff doesn't even look like it should be connected. What the hell? That is pretty cool. That first pic with the bench, that looks like you'd sit there and you'd see some shit run across that field. Yeah, that's definitely... honestly, it's kind of what I was expecting. Especially that first pic. When my grandma was a kid, she said that when she was in bed and her nightlight started flickering until it shut off, and then when she looked over, she saw a nun-looking thing in the dark. That would be fucking terrifying. That'd be terrifying. Skinwalker scream from both cameras. Oh, God. Skinwalker screams, man. They're everywhere. They're everywhere. Those damn skinwalkers. Get off my lawn. My mom had a ghost experience. I think my grandparents have had weird things happen. That they, like, and it's like things that they would never have told you. I just asked them, and they're like, oh, yeah, I think, yeah, I did have one time. Like, weird shit. Yeah, there's been some weird... Like, even with my late grandpa, who just recently passed away, like almost a year ago now, when he passed away, there was some things on the TV that were in the caption, because like he loved his TV. Like, it was the thing he loved more than anything. He loved watching TV, and he had this big 65-inch curved TV, and like after he died, my grandma was trying to figure out how to turn there's a thing called TiVo that he had, like, was just where you could record programs. She didn't need that anymore. It's extra payment stuff. So she's trying to figure out how to disable that. Well, while she was on the looking at the remote and stuff to try to figure out how to disable it, all of a sudden captions came on, which were never on that TV, and it said something like "love you much" or "love you very much, guys, much love," something along those lines, which wasn't even corresponding to with what the TV was saying at all. Very odd stuff. Like, and so there's been some encounters like that, and then obviously the people I've worked with before have had some really creepy fucking encounters. People that, like, especially like my uncle had a weird one. He lived in a funeral home. We actually spent a lot of time as children in an old funeral home, and that's where my grandparents lived, because they had foster children in the old Victorian style funeral home buildings. Back in the day, were very popular, and that's what they ended up living in. And we were there every day after school, spent a lot of nights there. I mean, I never encountered anything creepy there, but it's nicknamed the Hummingbird, that site, or the rock formation. Oh, okay, gotcha. About 2 more minutes, guys. 2 more minutes before we end the stream. Remember, we will be streaming again Monday night. Yeah, Monday night. So I don't think anything should be happening. We got Super Bowl weekend this week. I don't know if you guys are going to be tuned into that. I got some food I'm cooking. It's going to be amazing. What's up, random weird kid? We're just ending the stream, unfortunately, but appreciate you coming into the stream and checking us out. I will have replay available, so if you'd like to rewatch the stream, at the very beginning we watched some creepy videos, so if you're interested in that, you're more than welcome to stick around and rewatch it. Otherwise, we stream every Monday and Thursday. Yeah, I'm also curious how a skinwalker would transform into human form. It's something I'm curious about too. Do I get nightmares? Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes they're really weird. I've actually learned to control my dreams, though, to where if I have a nightmare and something's chasing me, I actually can realize that I'm in my dream. I'm in a dream and I can actually just beat it up or whatever. Like I can fly in my dreams. I can do whatever the fuck I want. It takes me sometimes time to realize I'm in a dream. But once I realize I'm in a dream, it's only when it's a bad dream. I haven't yet done it when it's a good dream because I don't want to fuck with it. But when it's a bad dream, I can control them now, so they're not scary. You actually technically dream every night, but you just don't always remember them. Like, they've studied people who sleep, and their brain activity is still pretty active when they're sleeping. They still, like, you can Google it. You're believed to dream all night, every night. It's just, most of them you don't remember, because you're in such a deep sleep, usually. When your mom was a kid, her grandfather died, and on the night after she got to sleep in bed, he died, and she woke up in the night and either sensed something in the corner or saw a shadow. That'd be creepy. Alright, Danny, thanks for tuning in, brother. And Julie, thanks for tuning in as well. Appreciate you both. I'm also going to log off, guys. I'm tired as hell. I gotta drink another beer before I go to bed, but stay safe, stay COVID-free, stay warm. I don't know where you guys are having or living, but what kind of weather you're having. But we're having a fucking blizzard. Today we had a massive blizzard, and then this next like 5 days are gonna be like high of -5 degrees. So harsh weather out here in Iowa. It sucks, especially if people have to work outside. But stay safe, stay warm or dry wherever you live. And, yeah, enjoy the Super Bowl. Hopefully you guys can get some good food in there. If you guys watch it for the commercials or the halftime show, whatever you watch it for. I watch it for the football part of it. But hopefully you guys enjoy it regardless. And, yeah, we'll see you guys again Monday. Stay safe and see you soon. Peace.